Good morning, Richard Eckley here. Happy your Wednesday morning to you. We're on a Wednesday, so on a relationship Wednesday on your 4 keys to a healthier, happy you. And we've noticed recently that there's like a change in relationships in society has changed. And the biggest change actually happened since the Second World War. Before the Second World War, the roles were more defined. Men basically sort of went to work before the Second World War, and the women mainly stayed at home, raised the children, looked after the house. And that's the roles they had. Then actually when the Second War started, all the men were taken off to war. They had to go overseas to fight for their country and went to war. So then all the women then had to go and fill the roles that was made before that was all male dominated. So they were then in the industries, on the agriculture, doing all the roles the men were doing. All the women had to come out and do all those roles. Well, women actually found then they could actually do the roles, earn money, and still care for the family and still raise the children and look after the house. So they became more independent. When the men came back from war, not only had the war changed them because they had experienced horrors of the war, so they actually tried to bury these memories inside them, so they weren't actually thinking about them so much, but they also buried their emotions as well, so they didn't show their emotions so much. And it's back during this time that it was, the sayings were saying like, be a man, don't show your emotions, be a man, men don't cry, all these sort of things came about after during the war, because they were actually trying to control their mindset by not thinking about the horrors they'd seen. So when they came back, they thought life would just go back to normal and the men would go back to work and women would go back in the house again. But the women thought, well, no, we don't want to go back in the house again. We're now getting our own money. We become more independent. We can actually earn money and take care of the family and the children. So they weren't so dependent on men anymore. So the actual roles had changed. And in the later years, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, on through the current day, this has all been expanding out through, because the women then think, well, they want more independence. They want their daughters to be more independent, see more of the world. So not only is they actually producing more testosterone because their hormones changed, when you actually take a male-dominated brain, more masculine brain, you're actually producing more testosterone, which actually helps you achieve those things. So actually women were producing more testosterone in their systems, making them feel more independent and better, but then they wanted their children, their daughters to be the same. So the environment at home changed. They were being more encouraged to do more independent things. So not only were they producing testosterone, the environment changed to make it give them more equal opportunity, if you like. So that's why we're heading this way at the moment. And men, on the other hand, they're producing more estrogen, because there's more estrogen in the food they've been consuming with the poor quality food. And they're actually being more feminine mindset. And you often hear the saying nowadays is, oh, get in touch with your feminine side. So our roles have actually been reversing in society over the last sort of few generations now, coming through. And it's all sort of affecting us, and no one really knows quite where they are. The women are more masculine mindset and the men are more feminine mindset. It's down to mainly our testosterone and estrogen. Women are mainly estrogen with some testosterone. Men are mainly testosterone with some estrogen. And when these get out of balance, we don't feel quite right in ourselves, and we're not quite sure it's our hormone balance isn't right. When our hormone balance is right, we feel good and everything goes well. When it's slightly out, we feel a bit different to normal. So it's interesting to see how society has changed over the last years and where we're heading to and how it's going to balance out again. It's just actually realizing that we're all really different people with different experiences, and our hormones will affect us all differently. So it's actually learning to control our hormones, think about how we're developing ourselves into who we want to be, and then moving ourselves forward with our relationships as well. This is all actually covered in my latest book, how to develop better relationships, that's coming out soon. So that's an area of the book I've been studying. The research is amazing. When you look into different things, you find what the core keys are to help things move and change and get balance again. So yeah, good stuff. There you are. Have yourself a good one. All the best for now.